Hello everyone, it's Moonkin FTW back with yet another episode of the RCT3 Coaster Challenge. In this episode we're tackling the Roller Soaker, which again is a roller coaster I am not familiar with at all, and I'm pretty sure I've never built this roller coaster. So before I actually built this roller coaster, I actually just Googled to see if there's some sort of real life example, and apparently there was one in Hershey's Park, which you can look up if you just look up, I believe you just look up Roller Soaker Hershey Park, you'll find a POV. And it's basically this inverted roller coaster that is either above or right next to a water park, where the carts themselves, the trains themselves, they have water and you can like drop it on the guests. And while you're riding this, other guests have the opportunity, the ability to kind of shoot water towards you. So that's why it's called a roller soaker. You get soaked basically. There is a thing though, this roller coaster actually took me a good amount of time. And that's because I wanted, of course, this coaster to be situated around a pool. And, you know, for someone that's been playing Roller Coaster Tycoon a lot, it's quite shocking that I have almost no experience with building pools, like nothing. So I had to just, again, completely relearn how everything worked when it comes to building, I said water rides. So here I was trying to figure out how does this lazy river works, and I thought you could just like implement this in between the stuff that I'm building right here, but no, it doesn't work like that. So it's got to be separate. So I'm like, okay, let me get rid of all this, let me reset and just do it again. So like the roller soaker in Hershey Park, the roller soaker in Hershey Park goes over the lazy river, and I believe some sections of the water park. And I wanted to basically do the same thing. Maybe I will incorporate it a bit more, but again, this is kind of my idea of what I want, and I'm trying to incorporate this right now. So you have this center section right here with, there's gonna be a few pools, and here again, I'm getting trapped because like, okay, can I build stuff here? Can I build stuff there? It's just really janky. So I apologize for anyone that's watching this that is much more familiar with building water parks in RCT3. It's just one thing that I don't build, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure why, because building water parks in RCT3 is quite fun. You know, you can make some really crazy slides, you can make some big pools, you know, there's a lot of stuff you can do. So I'm not sure why I don't tackle into it more, but better late than never, I guess. So right now we're just building this and adding some detail here. So we got some like those little beds that you can sit on and tan or whatever, some parasols. We got, of course, some bodyguards, some lifeguards, some diving boards, of course. And here, this is going to be a section where I wanted to build some slides. And again, I suck at these really bad. So once again, I had to really kind of figure out how on earth am I going to build all this. So in the end, I think it turned out okay-ish. But I was like, okay, I'm just going to try and build some basic ones. So you got one with a bunch of turns. You got one right here that's very steep, of course, and very fast. So I wanted that one. I wanted one that's kind of in the middle or a bit higher, and then, also with a lot of turns and everything. And I wanted just like a kiddie one, basically. So, one that's for smaller kids or younger people. So here I have one that's also enclosed, which is also I think is kind of cool. And then finally, after this one, I'll build a small one right here. That's just very simple. So there you go. That looks kind of nice. I'm going to add I'm going to use some very, a clear color, so to say. Red, yellow, green, blue. And I had this idea that the entrance of the park would be, or the entrance of the water park would be where you have the pool of the slide. So here I have all these changing rooms. Here I'm providing the pathing, and I was like, oh crap, everyone is staying there, that's not good. I'm gonna have to change this because this doesn't work. It's like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna completely change the lazy river. I'm gonna just completely connect all of these pools together, so those guests don't have to go over this lazy river in some weird way. And then the lazy river, which is going to be quite large, I don't think they're this big in real life, but screw it. It's just going to go all around this whole section. So it's still nice because it still goes under the roller coaster. It still has some decent turns and everything, and the guests can still enter it through here. But you can see now that the guests are much more spread out, as opposed to just all being stuck in that one pool, because it looks hideous, of course. So now it's just the general layout is done, if you will. So now it's just working on a bit more on the details. Now, another challenge that I had was, of course, the supports, because again, the supports that I had didn't quite work that well. I had some pre-made inverted supports, but they didn't quite work as well. So I kind of, I adjusted them a little bit, and then I used copy paste. And you'll actually see me changing these in just a bit, because I have, supports with 2 support beams, but I'll change that to just 1. And of course, another problem I was facing is that a lot of this ride goes over the pool section, and there has to be supports there. So I was like, you can see me constantly changing around areas where there was either a water section, or like the stuff that you walk, the stones that you walk on, whatever it's called, the tiles. So it was just constant adjustment, because again, I really never built a roller soaker before. I didn't know what they were about. So that's exactly why I had to look up some real life footage to see, okay, what does this look like in real life? What is a realistic or decent looking roller soaker? So we are on our way quite nicely. And again, this is a pretty time consuming build, but I wanted to do this properly, Also, the footage is sped up 10 times. Normally I speed it up about 8 times, so this just goes to show. Now there's another problem I was facing, which is right here, because you can see that these supports are kind of on the edge, which means the footers would also be kind of where the guest would walk, and of course that looks hideous. So I couldn't do this. So this whole section, I moved it up 1 block, made these single beam supports, and I made sure that all the support beams that go into the ground are in the middle, so the footers kind of align with that. So you can see just how much work this was. But, I don't want to half-ass stuff that much. I mean, I still, even the roller coasters where I don't have much inspiration, I still want them to look neat and, I guess neat or well built, so to say. So yeah, that's really my goal. So here again, I'm changing something to make sure that this support fits. Here you can see again, this doesn't work. Oh crap, okay, let me just use this one for now. Or it's just a lot of editing and changing. And yeah, this one took me a lot of time. But it's okay, and again, this is roller coasters like this. If I have a nice idea of what I want, then that's okay. I spend a little bit more time, and I'm not in a rush to make these. It's not like a speed run or something. So I'm just having fun, and it's not like I hated designing this. It was like any sort of ride that takes me a lot of time. I see it as a nice challenge. How can I make this fit? How can I make this work? And that's kind of that's one of the things I really like about Roller Coaster Tycoon. You have this unlimited or virtually unlimited amount of options, so it's up to you to be creative and find a solution to problems that you're facing. So for instance, the supports are in the water, you can't have that. Okay, how about I just use some slant beams, or other examples. So you can see, like I said before, this is me changing all the supports to single beam supports, because it just fits much better, apart from the lift hill. So the general layout of this park is done. Now we can focus on the footers, which now finally, thank God, fit much better, because none of it's on the edge anymore. There's one there, I'm like, screw it, it's just one, I'll live with it, Of course, I'm going to add some flanges to make the supports look a bit more realistic. And that should be pretty much it in terms of the design of the roller coaster. I'm going to use Beastie's path mods to make the paths look a little bit better. And again, it's a go-to mod from me. It's just one of my favorite mods, because it just makes the path look so much better. And of course, I wanted this to kind of be in a tropical setting. So I'm adding some sand here, and I'm going to add some palm trees. And I think this really helps with the theming of the ride, because, it's a water park, tropical. I think that kind of theming looks really well. And you'll see that in just a bit, because I'm also designing the station with this kind of bamboo kind of feel. But you'll see that in just a bit. So, we are almost done. Again, this one took me more than, let's say, the robotic arm coaster or the reverse freefall, but I really like the end product. That's just me. Again, you guys will be the judge of that, but I like it. I think it looks really cool. I have a feeling, though, that the POV will be very, the frame rate will probably tank, because this is a lot of objects and a lot of stuff and a lot of sprites, so I don't think it's going to be super smooth, generally speaking, I love the way this turned out. It was a lot of work to also design this entire water park around this roller soaker, but that's what a roller soaker is. It's a roller coaster that is situated right next and kind of above a water park. So I had to build a water park to do this one properly. So anyway, let's go ahead and ride this. Let's check it out. Let's see how this roller soaker looks. There's a bit of a delay there in the setting off, but there we go. Oh, I forgot to add a catwalk. Oh, I can do that later. That's okay. For now, it's okay. Now I know that when you're actually riding this, there's a menu where you can change the camera, but in this case there's also some options where you can drop down water and everything, just like the real roller soaker. So I thought that was actually kind of cool. And there's actually a lot of like really cool details in RCT3 that people don't know about. Nice. Simple helix here. Again, this ride is not about intensity or inversions, it's just about kind of like a nice little aerial view with some corners and splashes and everything. Unfortunately, there's no guests, splashing water back at us. But yeah, we can look at the surroundings though. It's very nice. I also really like this section here. So you're going down and you are kind of close to the water. I imagine it's also really cool if you're like swimming there and there comes a train and everything. So it's really cool. We're going over the water park. Lots of guests playing, having fun in the water as we make one final corner and then into our little brake run and the station. Nice. Yeah, this design, again, it was very time consuming, but again, this was a nice challenge for me. It's a roller coaster I've never built before. It was quite a challenge to build it like something that would exist in real life, and this really kind of refreshed my water park building skills. So there you go, guys. That's episode 45. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back pretty soon, but until then, have yourself a wonderful day.